Hey everybody, it's Mark Sargent, and this is Flat Earth Q&A emails number 53, where you email me your Flat Earth questions to msargent23 at comcast.net. That's msargent 23 at comcast.net, and I will do my best to answer them here. And let's just get to it. Emails are answered normally in the order they are received. This first one's called Firmament Dome Question. Hello, Mark. First, let me tell you how much I appreciate your video, They Are Hiding God with the Greatest Lie Ever. I believe it is very well done and credible. Not that I need convincing, I've been a flat earther for quite some time. However, I have a question or questions for you. If the dome, aka the firmament, is indeed shaped like a dome, an enclosed football stadium, then it eventually must come down to where it meets the Earth, although the Earth in this case is the backside of the encasement of ice, Antarctica, or is it the backside? Could it be that there is a continuous expanse of ice until it gives way to another pool, much like the pool that our Earth sits in with its continents in the center area surrounded by the encasement of ice? If the dome does not come down to meet the Earth, then is the firmament continuous, not only over our Earth, but possibly over other worlds as well, like the one Admiral Byrd saw. In this instance, it would be flat as well, flat and parallel to the Earth and the continuous ice sheet stretching who knows how far, and possibly in all directions as well. I don't have a problem with that. Could that be an explanation as to why Admiral Byrd never encountered the dome? He never mentioned nor alluded to a dome. Well, not publicly anyway. What he did mention was the unseen land. He described its size and its mineral richness. This was beyond the South Pole. Beyond where exactly? Did he travel in a straight line away from the edge of the ice? I believe he probably did. It was for hundreds of miles. So where is the dome that comes down to meet the Earth? Obviously, he did not crash into it. So where is it? Is it there at the back edge of the ice? Is it not? If not, then where is it? What is its shape? This is a two schools of thought quandary I cannot resolve nor find a satisfactory explanation. I'm actually good with it either way. I just wish I knew with a lot more certainty. Let me just say, if it were not for Admiral Byrd's flight and his telling of what he saw and no mention of a dome, I would totally buy into the theory of the Earth is encased in a dome, and that would be the end of it. What are your thoughts? Does anyone else have this question? I know you must get hundreds of emails, and answering them all may get to be an impossibility. I hope you get the opportunity to shed some light on this matter, perhaps in a future video. Sincerely, Jim Johnson. The very short answer to that question, or series of questions, Jim, is that Admiral Byrd wasn't going to be allowed to talk publicly regarding the mission, Operation Deep Freeze. Which is why I believe he eventually died in 1957, because he was too good at doing press conferences and he let things slip from time to time. So that's really the long and the short of that. Let's see, this one's called Survival Guide. Hello, Mark. Can you send me your survival guide? Thanks so much for everything you do, Miriam. And yes, I did. And if anyone wants a copy of the survival guide, it's called Empty Shelves. I will send it to you in PDF format. All you have to do is put survival guide in an email to me. And just somewhere in the title. You don't even really have to put anything in the body of the email, and I will shoot that off to you. It's only about 2 megs. I do recommend, though, that you print it out. Don't just sit there and say, oh, look, I got a survival guide. No, print it out. Hard copies are always great, because when the lights go out, your computer or tablet or phone is going to have a limited lifespan. This one's called Volcanoes, Oceans, Flat Earth. Hey, Mark, I have a buddy out of Pasadena, California that is into marine biology, oceanography, and he's also interested in different types of volcanoes in the Pacific Ring of Fire and its relation to flat Earth. I was wondering if we could set him up on one of your 1-hour live recorded calls or mailbags. He would like for you to call him ASAP if you have time today. Unfortunately, I did not do that because that was a long time ago. Or whenever you are first available this week, just to build a rapport on the phone first and see if there is enough in the discussion to warrant a interview on your program. Thanks, Nico. Yeah, I probably should get a hold of that guy, so I will contact them. Subject matter experts, I love them. So if anyone has a subject matter expert they think they can contribute or go against Flat Earth, I would love to talk to them either way. This one's called Truth Seeker. Hey Mark, I've been researching Flat Earth for a while, and I'm not sure if you've already answered this, but you can explain. Can you explain the eclipse and how it correlates with Flat Earth? God bless and keep up the good work. P.S. I would like a copy of your survival guide. Wow, having a hard time this morning. Survival guide. Sincerely, Bo. And yeah, the eclipse works better for the flat Earth than it does for the globe. That's for sure. Because remember, how does a 2,000-mile wide object, notably the moon, cast a 70-mile wide shadow? How does it do it? Find me an example in normal life down here on the terrestrial ground where we can shrink a shadow. I mean, that's the equivalent, remember, of having a 6-foot man have his shadow shrunk down on a wall down to about 2 inches. That's a lot. That's like 97%. Find even, we all know shadows are actual size or larger. Find me an example on the ground without using some fancy optics where you can cast a shadow that's almost microscopic in comparison. And yeah, I think I sent him the survival guide as well. This one's called Facebook. Mark, I appreciate your response to the Facebook question. Been thinking that I gotta jump ship from it soon. Rereading my drunk emails, ha. More importantly, actually interested in your response to my second question posted below. Okay, too many beers in, but seriously, since I came out as a flat earther like an idiot, I should have researched more to know never to say that. You getting laid, man? I used to, not anymore. Please start, wait, did I already read this before? Please start a flat earth dating app. Not like you've never thought of it before, not like everyone will rip you apart for starting it. Do it under a flat alias, but do it. The earth may be flat, but I ain't. Apologies for the drunk emails. And no, there's already people that are working on that. They're working on flat earth dating apps. So check them out if you get a chance. They're out there. I don't know if there's several out there. Just type in flat earth dating or flat earth love or something along those lines. You'll find it. So thank you, Robbie, for that. This one's called went too far. And now I gotta shrink that down, and now I'm stuck. Okay. Thought you might, okay, this one's called, did you know you have a sex tape? Great. Mark, thought you might find this interesting if you haven't seen it already. Were you aware of the fact that you have a sex tape? Wow, these people will literally grasp at anything. Hope all is well. I recorded something with Karen from Sun and Moon defending you and Patricia. Not sure how much it'll help, but hopefully it can help a little bit. Peace out. Once again, you're doing a great job taking this in stride, man. Try to keep on enjoying the ride, bro. If you can do something about it, why worry about it? If you can't do anything about it, again, why worry about it? That's from Josh, Uber Flat Earth. And what he's talking about is, yeah, there's not actually a sex tape. Just a couple pictures and a little video that was taken back when I did a Flat Earth meetup at the beginning of 2016 here in Seattle. And 2 lovely Canadian girls were keeping me company in the hotel room. So there you have it. This one's called Mystery Echo Spots on the Flat Earth. Hi, Mr. Sargent. I'm Oliver Carrera, paramedic firefighter of Dallas, and I know the Earth is flat. Mainstream science believes we should go out in space to find the reason for our existence. Meanwhile, here on Earth, science falls behind on settling the foundation. Now that people like you and I have seen the reality of our world, do you think we could ever explain the unexplainable? For example, the spots on Earth where echo is a mystery, spots known as focotonal in Mexico, in Acatlan, Jalisco, Parral, and Juarez, and Chihuahua, the center of the universe in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Lake George Mystery Spot in New York. They are all the same, but there is no explanation. Have you ever heard of these spots before? What is your best guess for the explanation? If you have not, please see them for yourself. Perhaps they can answer the mysterious work of Mr. Tesla. or pick up on the unfinished work of Mr. Tesla. Okay. Today's scientists have substituted, oh, and this is a quote from Nicola. Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. God bless. And that's from Oliver. Thanks, Oliver. Great. Moving on. This one's called Flat Earth. Hello, Mark. I listen to Flat Earth shows, including yours. She's from France, by the way, so English is not her native language. Since a year now, and it seems that nobody mentions that the word planet came from the word plan, a surface determinant by 3 points. So it seems to me that the word planet means the Earth is flat. In the ancient times, Venus, Mars, Saturn had been seen like wandering stars and not planets, as you said. The planet is where we live and it's flat. It's a plane, a planet. What do you think of that? I was born in 1969 and I doubt the moon landing ever since I was a kid. Where was the fuel to come back? I was asking around me. Older, when I was looking for a poster of the Earth, I went to the Institute of... Hang on 1 second here. Went to the Institute shop in Paris, and when I arrived in front of the image of the blue marble, I clearly seen that it was a drawing, and I didn't buy it. Now I realize that my suspicious nature was well-founded. Kind regards, Stephanie Orser from France. Sorry for my French English. No problem, Stephanie. Happy to read it. All right, this one's called Your Recent Interviews. Mark, you have always done a good job answering questions about Flat Earth and representing Flat Earth in general. But lately, you are just nailing your various interviews, all aspects of them. Your responses are well thought out, and you often merge into other important aspects of Flat Earth after responding to a question, thus getting way more info out per question. Bottom line, I'm really happy that you represent the mainstream Flat Earth community, and happy that you represent me. Sincerely, Lane. Power to the people. You know what, Lane? I like a good compliment as much as anybody, and that one was great. So thank you very much for that. It's very humbling. This one's called Observation About Gravity. Hi, Mark. Please feel free to use my first name. I have been watching your material for about a year, and I totally enjoy your relaxed approach to a truly mind-destroyer topic. I was just watching some excellent Flat Earth videos on gravity. Could you please correct me if you think that my following conclusion is wrong? I believe that mainstream science describes the Earth's gravity as the only reason the moon stays in orbit around the Earth. Then my conclusion is that gravity would have to work in reverse. The Earth's gravity would have to get stronger as the moon moves away from the Earth. In other words, the Earth's gravity would act like a string and not like a normal force that would be weaker as you moved away from the source of that force. My common sense tells me that the greater the distance that I am from a pulling or attracting force, the weaker that force would get. Of course, the reverse would be true, like putting two magnets slowly together. At some point, the magnets would zap together and then place closer together. Anyway, thank you for your great work. Cheers, Steve. Very welcome, Steve. Happy to do that. This one's called Coast to Coast Interview. Please, and thanks for all your work, man. Keep doing it. Let haters ache from it. And what he's talking about is Coast to Coast is one of the few interviews I actually could not put up online. They have a disclaimer there where they say you sign a thing when you do an interview with them, and you can't, at least when you're doing something with George Norrie, and you can't put it up online. And so if anybody wants my Coast to Coast interview from anybody, I am happy to shoot it to you in an email. I've got the raw audio file from it, but I just can't put it up online. You can just email me and say Coast to Coast, and I'll send you either the first one with George Norrie or the second one. This one's called Thank You. Mark, you have the most amazing video on YouTube, and I've watched it many times. They hide God with the greatest lie ever. Very descriptive and detailed. So many questions answered. Excuse me. I didn't know what I had. You are amazing. Thank you for helping me in the process of me opening my eyes. And that's from Daryl Ann. Very welcome. This one's called Listening to Your Q&A's mail video. Mark, it occurs to me that maybe the reason the astronauts don't admit that they never went to the moon is because they think they did. They were just in a simulator when they thought they were doing the real thing. Maybe they were fooled with the rest of us because the powers that be knew what a hard secret that would be to keep for a lifetime. In addition, all those people in the ground crew at Mission Control were convinced it was real, but it was more like a video game, just a thought, Webby. Yeah, Webby, you got a point there. You could fool. There was, in fact, a television show out in Britain called Space Cadets, where they literally trained people. There was a big punked. That's all it was. They trained people in the ground. They told them they were going to be astronauts, and they put them in a simulator. But here's the catch. You can't let them out of the simulator. And when it came to the Apollo program, you're not going to be able to fake putting them in a fake moon environment. I mean, they're obviously on a soundstage. So the simulator, yeah, you could simulate people all the way up till that point, but eventually once they get out of it, they're going to know. So no, the Apollo astronauts knew full well what they were getting into. This one's called Easy Way to Prove the Circle Map. Hi Mark, I put a new video on my channel with an idea I had of a way to prove the circle map instead of a globe map or a square map. I hope you have the time to check it out. It's a very simple idea. Cheers, Simone. And the email, or sorry, it's called Flat Earth Experiment Idea by a Plain Domain. And I had not watched it up until now. And Jaren has already commented on it, so great. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Let me get rid of that one. This one's called End of the Debate. Let's see. Mark, this device proves the Earth is not spinning because such an experiment would have taken place already. I even have a group experiment that would end the debate with participants around the country. Let me know if you have any interest in participating. Nader. And he's got a YouTube link, and that link goes to... doesn't go anywhere. In fact, he copied me on my own playlist. Oh well, whatever. No worries. Happens. We all make mistakes. This one's called Finally Coming Out of the Flat Earth Closet. Patricia and Mark, if you read, do not use the name above. All right, I will not use the name above. I just love your show. Thank you for saying hi to me on live. I am coming out of the Flat Earth Closet. Well, at least with family. Most or all of my family knows now, and they are at least treating me well. It has taken me almost 3 years to be this brave. I will tell others as I feel. It is easier to tell strangers than family. I thank my husband for making fun of me for almost 3 years. He made me stronger. Several of my family I have told... Wow, just totally screwing this up. Several of my family have told me in ways that I am stupid by the Facebook post they put on their own wall, but at least they are kind to me otherwise. My best friend is now a flat earther too. We talk about stuff all the time. We both wanted to go to the convention, but we have too many things that prevent us. Several of her children are seriously considering it too. So interesting how things spread by just telling one person. Next year, I suggest Salt Lake City for the convention. This area is a wonderful place and has many features to do flat earth tests, salt flats, mountains, lakes, and other things. I loved your show, and my heart will be with everyone at the convention. Please do some live stuff. Love you both. Maybe I will have the courage to call into one of Mark's shows one night as well. I am getting braver. And this is by Happy Daisy. Okay. This one's called The Clues. Mark, still watching your Clues videos, still enjoying. Thought I might mention Eric Dubé doesn't think much of you. Seems you have used his work without permission and without any credit to him. No, you're thinking of Matt Boylan. And Matt Boylan doesn't like Eric because supposedly Eric used some of Matt's work. But Matt has never accused me of plagiarizing, and neither has Eric, as far as I know. I'll let you two hash that. Says you are a shill. Could be, as long as you focus on the flat earth topic. I'm fine. I'm a pretty good BS filter getting to the truth, but I'm scared to death about telling anyone. May try my family after Thanksgiving dinner. I'll have a somewhat captive audience, by the way. Caught your call-in show on YouTube. Too many idiots call in and say nothing, but only voice their opinion. Always patting you on the back. Getting in good with the boss, I guess. And that's from Kenny. Yeah. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. This one's called No Subject. Mark, I just recently watched your 2-hour YouTube video and like to say that that is some pretty compelling stuff. My question is can someone use a high-powered telescope? Let's say we are in Brazil. Could you see Russia from the shore? I know some people don't like my answer to this, and it's like, yeah, you probably could if the atmosphere didn't get in the way. And by that I mean, remember, the stuff that you're breathing right now is only 20% oxygen. It's mostly nitrogen. It's about 80% nitrogen, which means it's kind of a lesser version of water. Remember, water is 2 parts hydrogen to 1 part oxygen. And this is 4 parts nitrogen to 1 part oxygen. So it's not that different. So, you know, when you're looking underwater, you can only look so far because the thickness of the water gets in the way. And even though the atmosphere that we breathe is thinner than water, it's still going to get in the way over a period of time. And so instead of hundreds of yards or even maybe a mile when it comes to water, even on the clearest water, the atmosphere is limited to, you know, several hundred miles, and that's about it. But if you pulled that atmosphere off, if you could create a vacuum, if you could yank the atmosphere off, then yeah, you could see a long distance. So yeah, absolutely, I believe you could. The argument why can't you see Japan from San Francisco? Pull off the atmosphere? I think you probably could if you had a big enough telescope. Let's see. This one's called Comment on You're There Hiding God with the Biggest Lie Ever, Flat Earth Clues. Hello, my friend. Something weird just happened not 10 minutes after I watched your video. I went back to my email that had just arrived and found this from one of the channels I subscribe to. I thought you might find it of interest since it was just posted. Let me know what you think of it if you have time to respond. Sincerely, Larry. And I click on Larry's link and it's called This Box Found in a Dumpster Contains a Key to Possible Alien Contact. Published on November 3rd, 2017. Ratings are pretty good. But we haven't gotten any alien contact. So, interesting though. Oh, you know what? I may read that later. Or watch the video anyway. This one's called Fresh Perspectives. Hey Mark, I've been really trying to break down the structure of this flat Earth universe. My big question is, if we know the layout, the map, the geography, and what it actually took to create something like this, wouldn't we be able to build a model that could replicate similar conditions to this Earth, including the evolution of life on a smaller scale? It is something we have the technology to do, and with the right calculations, there's no reason a smaller model of the Earth couldn't be made. If you can recreate the experiment and find the same results, you would be able to prove that the flat Earth theory is more probable than the round Earth theory beyond any reasonable doubt in the scientific community's eyes. I would like to swap perspectives every now and then on various pieces of the puzzle. Hope to hear your thoughts on the idea. Nick. P.S. I have some theories involving the cycles, the Watcher, and the dome that I'd like to talk over. And he's right. I mean, our technology is getting better and better and better to where we're close. At the very least, we're close to creating virtual realities. All we have to do is tap into the electrochemical synapses, and you know, at that point, who's to say we aren't in one right now? So, but then again, you know, you're talking about the 13th Floor movie, which of course is based on the German movie World on a Wire, and The Matrix. I don't think we're going to be allowed to get that far, because once you do, then the world you're living in becomes meaningless. So we're getting close to that technology. I just don't think I think that's one of the limits to where we are, is that you're not allowed to dive into another world, even though our science fiction movies touch on it all the time. This one's called Flights. Hi Mark, I like your videos. I know the Earth map was a deception for a long time because of the real size of Africa. I have started looking at flat Earth after originally laughing at it all. It makes sense to me. However, I once flew from Sydney to Joburg. I love that they call it Joburg. Non-stop, and we flew over the ice for hours. It was clear. I'll never forget it. I was in awe. That does not quite fit the flat Earth map unless GPS took them to the edge and back. Your thoughts? Kind regards, Tim. Tim, if you're listening, I'd love to know what year that was, because as far as I know, Sydney to Johannesburg doesn't go by the ice anymore. So I'd love to know when that flight was taken. Moving on. This one's called... Oh boy, font's really small on this. It's called No Subject. I gotta lean in. Hey Mark, I think you're on your way to being president of Flat Earth. Oh boy. You've done great things for this movement. I've been on board for about 2 years, and I feel that two of the most crucial points that need to be made that aren't are, for one, most people, and I'm gonna have to guess at 80%, by the way, I'm reading this verbatim, 80% of people don't know what they believe. Every chance you get while talking with a ball earther, see if they know how fast the earth spins on its axis, or how fast we travel around the sun, or the distance of the sun or moon. I think what helped me was realizing how ignorant I am, and I was defending something I knew nothing about. Humble pie. The second being the most important, and that being the fact that we live in an unprecedented age. My whole life, I'm 32, Google has been available. Prior to the access to information that we have available to us today, it was easy to control the information that the public had access to. I believe that if that point is made right off the bat, people can begin to wrap their heads around how they were able to carry on so long. I hope you take this into consideration. I rarely hear you touch on it. Matt. Thank you, Matt. And I'm not going to touch on that because it was tough for me to actually read this, so I don't even know what you were going for there. But thanks for reaching out anyway. This one's called, let's see here. Nope. Not going to read that. This one's called Hello from Palm Desert, California. Mark, thank you for putting out such a wonderful series of Flat Earth clues. I spent quite a few sleepless nights, and your Flat Earth clues helped me get over the hump, and now I'm firmly standing on flat ground. This may sound crazy, but every time my mind goes to idle, it defaults to Flat Earth and the wonderful God that made it. Sincerely, Dave. Very welcome, Dave. This one's called FEQs. Hi, Mark. I have listened to a few of your shows, but rarely am I able to catch any recent ones. So if you are able to respond rather than read this on air, I would be grateful. Nope, I'm reading this on air. Sorry. I had a thought concerning 4 possible agents in the whole Flat Earth cover-up. First, before August Piccard went on his obscure ascent and returned, revealing the shape of the Earth in the 1930s, some others came to mind. De Rossier, the Frenchman scientist who was the first to travel to a great height in the late 1700s in a hot air balloon. Then Orville and Wilbur Wright, the first men to achieve sustained flight. Theodore Roosevelt, the first president to fly. I did not know that. Then fourth, Charles Lindbergh and his famous first solo non-stop flight from New York to Paris in 1927. Do you have any knowledge of any involvement these early men may have had in the suppression of a flat Earth, since some of them were Masons? No, I do not. Secondly, regarding Tiger Dan, there have been instances in both the near and far past where those who have stumbled upon a truth that impacts the financial interests of big companies are approached and paid off. Big oil and big pharma come to mind. Do you have any knowledge or comment regarding him concerning this? Nope, I don't. Tiger Dan disappeared, and nobody even knew his real name. So, and nobody was in contact with him, so we have no idea where Tiger Dan went at all. This one's called Brian Mullin. Mark, I've been watching Brian Mullin from Balls Out Physics. I really appreciate his engineering input on the flat Earth. I'd love to see you have an interview with him. Enjoy your program, Titus. Thank you, Titus. And unfortunately, Brian will not be doing an interview with me anytime soon. He was kind of professionally submarined by some awful troll people that didn't want him to be out there in the flat Earth community, and so they called up what you guys don't know is the he was into structural engineering, and there's an ethics board, and somebody contacted the ethics board and said, oh yeah, by the way, one of your structural engineers, is promoting the flat earth. And a lot of people don't realize that if you're ever certified for something, be it an accountant or an engineer or a lawyer, you are subject to their rules and codes of conduct. And you have to follow those things. And if you're not, you can be disbarred. You can be decertified. Your career can be sunk. And that's a big thing to hold over somebody's head, because it takes a lot of education and a lot of money to be one of these things. And they used that in his case. And so we lost a big asset there, which was unfortunate. This one's called Flat Earth Flight Path. Mark, a relative of mine just went overseas for a vacation and flew directly from Los Angeles to Rome and took a direct flight back between the same cities. I traced out her flight path on an AE map just to see what I get. I had not mentioned the flat earth to her, and I still haven't. She told me how surprised she was that her flight took her over Germany, England, Greenland, Canada, and even near or over Washington State. Of course, I wasn't surprised. This has given me some more information that the flat earth is correct. I would like to thank you for your explanations and interviews on YouTube. I've been seeing the earth a whole new way. And yeah, he showed me a map here, and it's an AE map. And when you take the flight, when you plot the course from Los Angeles to Rome, it's an absolute straight line that goes over Greenland. It doesn't even go near the east coast of the United States. It literally just goes straight up, almost due north over the United States, all the way due north past Canada, and all the way over to Rome. And that's really great. So thank you for that. All right, this one's called Flat Earth. Mark, I have only become a flat earther in the past 2 years. I've been reading and listening to everything I can find. I just ran across your video and I'm interested in what you have to say. I definitely think the powers that be have done this to deny that God exists. Just a short note to start a correspondence with you. Thank you, Chris. You're very welcome, Chris. And yes, that is one of the reasons that the powers that be would keep this thing a secret. Because you can't be the ultimate power in the universe if you're not the ultimate power. This one's called Sunrise and Sunset. Hi, Mark. First, thanks for making your contact information available. I don't think many people in your position would do that. I've only been looking at the flat earth theory for a few weeks. I admit I'm inclined towards it, but I'm not convinced yet. There are questions that I haven't seen answered, and apparently many others have these same questions. Two of the big ones for me are what about satellites and what about the Antarctic? But the one that really has me stumped, and one I haven't seen answered yet, has to do with the sunrise and sunset. In the global theory, I understand how the Earth would rotate, giving us morning sun coming up over the horizon, the evening sun going down below the horizon. But the flat Earth, I don't understand it. It would seem that if there was no horizon to go down below or come up over, that the sun and the moon should always be up. Yeah, I know, it's the old question. If you have already answered this before, perhaps in one of your videos, I'd be happy if you could send me a link for your explanation. If you haven't, could you please give me a brief answer on how the sun goes up and goes down? Thanks, Jim from Lindale, Texas. Yeah, there's some wonderful videos out there about what the sun does, and all you have to do is type in flat earth sun. The best ones out there currently are by DITRH, although Jeranism does some great stuff. Bob from Globebusters does some good stuff. Zeticism.com does some good stuff. I think Phuket Word does some great stuff on the sun. There's tons of stuff out there when it comes to the sun. So I'm not going to cover it here. You're going to have to look it up yourself, because this is an email bag show. And I'm not going to be able to do it justice if I don't have visuals to go with it. Okay, this one's called YouTube video. Hi, Mark. I'm Paul Freeman. I live in British Columbia, Canada. I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed your video. I remember when I was around 6 years old and coming home with a toy globe and my dad saying, "The world is not round." He went on to explain that we live in a world that has a firmament covering it. He also could see that the space program was a farce. He wasn't a scientist, but he believed that the world was more of a spherical shape and was created by mankind. For mankind by a higher power whom mankind was created in the image of. He believed the earth was surrounded by ice which contained our oceans. His ideas made sense to me. I'm very interested in how we can provide more awareness to those who have been blinded by those who think all mankind is stupid and that they can get away with the bizarre lies and deceptions. Is there a group I could join, or a community of people who I could join up with, that I could study the science and knowledge about our Earth? Being here in Canada and the cold has made me interested in moving to a warmer climate, as being with a very closed-minded society has made me want to cut ties with mainstream, politicized, unconstitutional society, and especially big city life. I feel like packing up my old Westphalia and leaving Canada. I am interested in moving to an open-minded society, possibly somewhere in the southern states or elsewhere, where people are free thinkers. Is there such a place? I was wondering where you are from, Mark. I am curious to know where you gained your knowledge, and if you know of a school that you could recommend that offers studies in regards to what our Earth really is like. Is there a group of knowledgeable people interested in forming an informal or possibly formal process, such as a school or home groups, to help raise society's awareness of how we are being deceived by so-called scientific organizations such as NASA and our governments? Thank you for your time. I hope you reply to my message. Sincerely, Paul Freeman. And yeah, I mean, there's communities all over the place. All you do is go into YouTube and type in Flat Earth Meetup. There are communities everywhere. And there's conferences happening, excuse me, at this point. And as far as moving to a place just for that, Colorado seems pretty good. Right now, I think they have the most meetups because they have ones in Fort Collins and Denver and Colorado Springs. Sorry, I need to drink a lemonade. So that's what I'd recommend to him if you get a chance. So moving on. This one's called Asgard is Flat. Mark, you've probably seen this, but Asgard is the new Thor movie. It's flat and it's under a dome. I took a picture of the screen in the theater. Someone in Hollywood is catching on. And that's from Scoops. Yeah, Scoops. Very possible. A lot of different movies along those lines. This one's called, Is This Conspiracy Claim Verifiable? Hello, Mark. Your theory of the flat earth rests upon the thought that several governments are lying to the public. If this is true, then one would think that your exposure of their plan could put you in danger. Have any of the letter organizations like the CIA, FBI, and etc. ever contacted you? If so, what was their general message? Back off? Thanks, Brian. No, Brian, nobody's contacted me yet. But it's been a couple of years now. So if they're if they haven't done it by now, they're probably not going to, in my opinion. Really, why? Honestly, I don't know what leverage. I never got married, never had kids. So what are you gonna, don't own a company, anything like that? It's not like financially you could decimate me. So what are you gonna do if you're gonna try to come against me, threaten me with violence, pain, and death? Doubt it. This one's called Hey Mark. I see your vids on YouTube and looking into FE for a while. I am in BKK for the moment and for another few months. So if you in BKK sometime, let me know and we can go for a drink. I would enjoy a talk, Niels. And I don't know what BKK stands for. Somebody tell me if you get a chance. I'd like to say British Columbia, Canada, but that's BCC. It couldn't be. Whatever. This one's called The Earth is Flat. Mark, what do you think is the most compelling flat earth argument? I need my friends to believe me. Sent by Natalie. And Natalie, in fact, I've got a list of scientific arguments that I came up with because I was debating with a scientist from Georgetown University the other day. My top 5, as far as arguments that you can throw at people, scientific arguments, not connect the dots, not religious stuff. The first one's long distance photography, obviously. Finding the curvature when you're shooting supposedly over the horizon. Where is it? 2 would be vacuum versus gravity. The fact that gravity is counteracting the massive force of vacuum. 3 would be the eclipse shadow, which I talked about in an earlier email. Why is the eclipse shadow so unbelievably small compared to the size of the moon? 4th one would be the moon temperature, which I love so much because you can go out there and prove that right now with a $20 device from Home Depot. And 5, and you guys can look all these up, you know, I'm not going to go into them in great detail. And the 5th one is the Van Allen belt trap question, which I love throwing at people, especially scientists, which is the Van Allen, are the Van Allen radiation belts deadly? Yes or no? That's the question. And it's a trap because it loops back on itself. Meaning, okay, if you say they are deadly, then how did Apollo 11 through 17 get through the belts, round trip? Nobody died, nobody got radiation poisoning, nobody got cancer. And if you say no, then you point them back at the Orion trial by fire video, which is on the NASA website. Even today, 2 years later, it's still there. Which they made at the end of 2014, where they said, no, the Van Allen belts are so deadly, we're not even going to put people in the capsules until we can figure out how to solve the radiation problem, because we haven't done that yet. So there you go. Those are my top 5. This one's called Flat Earth Code. Mark, I started researching Flat Earth this year in February and spent many late nights watching everything I could. I appreciate all your work in getting this out there. I have talked to a few people so far about this. I'm being a little selective at this point. Good for you. Especially with people at work, since I'm an employee in the state government. Anyway, I talked to one of my buddies at work about it, and he seems like he is on board. We work gang intelligence for our department, and since all of our gang members use numbers as codes, we have been using 65 all around the office when we talk about Flat Earth. Nice. The 6th letter of the alphabet being F, the 5th letter being E. Oh, I like that. 6 and 5, 65. Good. Anyway, thought I would pass this along in case anyone else wanted to use it. Maybe we will get some 65 t-shirts one day or something. Stay flat. Dan. Awesome. Thanks so much for that, Dan. This one is called Amazing Proof. Hi, Mark. I've been listening to your videos, and I must say, God bless you. It's amazing what you are doing, and thank you from Australia, Sydney. I have found a link on YouTube that is proof of Flat Earth through world ship maps, cable maps, gas lines, and especially aeroplane maps. I'm not very good with computers, but I'm sending you a link, and hopefully you can compare it with the Flat Earth picture and post it. Let me know what you think, please. And the link goes something like this. It says 24 hours of international flights. Huh. Have I seen this? 24-hour observation. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen some of this. Yeah, I'm going to have to grab some of this. It's from Linda Clements, and she posted that in 2009. Yeah. Maybe I'll grab a copy of that. It's awesome. Thank you. Okay, this one's called We Need to Talk Soon regarding Flat Earth Action Plan. Hello, Mark. All great work. I am a new Flat Earther, yet my information has been deeply saturated by the hundreds of videos I've watched. Thanks to you and all whistleblowers that have awakened this in us. Well, I'm not exactly a whistleblower, but thank you anyway. However, I feel what I guess you fear as well is that the other party will not sit and watch. No, they won't. For this reason, I guess we need to talk soon. My time zone is +2 Greenwich Mean Time. I live in Beirut, Lebanon. I am spreading the wave on the local media stations soon, but we have to have a very organized group to succeed. Feel free to contact me on WhatsApp, and I will text to you just for your info. Here's what time it is now. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Best, Charbel Dabahi. I will contact that person out in Lebanon. Awesome. This one's called Flat Earth. Mark, thank you for your videos. I've recently become convinced the Earth is flat. Your videos and interviewed helped my decision. And that's from Chelsea. Very welcome, Chelsea. This one's called No Subject. Mark, I've been watching your 2-hour-long YouTube video about your theories regarding reality of the world as you see it. Although I've heard theories about the flat Earth before, I've always pushed it away as some kind of bad science that people put out for attention or just plain BS. Yours was very well narrated and compelling. I'm a skeptic by nature without any beliefs. I have since a very, very early age considered myself an atheist, blindly taking for granted the information the school system has provided, but in recent years I have questioned the nature of reality and how everything works. This will not change my view of a God, as I can't stand the idea of a theology based on fear and ego. Yet old scriptures from all over the world does have some merit to them. Consciousness itself is a key factor, and most importantly, how it's dealt with. Have a look at Tom Campbell's videos and his theory of everything on YouTube. His theories of reality is what I can identify the most with. Thanks for a very good video, and I hope you will take your time to read this as well as check out other viewpoints by Tom. Regards from Tom out of Norway. I get emails from all over the place. It's always great. This one's called Already Awake and Love Your Work. Mark, I have been thinking about building some models with a Zulu clock mechanism for about a year now, and today I stumbled across your YouTube video of the models that you have constructed. I wanted to tell you that I am both humbled and impressed. Keep up the good work, sir, and God bless. And that's from David Finley. Very welcome, David. This one's called Hi from a Kiwi. Blessings, Mark. I enjoyed meeting you at the conference. I don't think I've been recognized from behind before. Anyway, I thought I would share. I have no idea what that meant. That I recognized him from behind. Did I? Oh. Yeah, I know who this guy is. This is the shot putter, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I thought I would share the following link with you because it tickled my sense of humor. Sorry if you have already seen this. And it's an Australian article. Cancellation of an atheist shindig as its disappointment. Oh, yeah, the atheist groups are dying. So the atheists can't get it together, but the flat earths can sell at a conference. See you later. Take care. Leone. Very welcome, Leone. From Australia. This one's called No Subject. Mark, I have a long believed, I'm going to correct his grammar here, that we were in the Truman Show. I'm kind of in it with really, but for some reason I seem like I have a high level of intelligence to myself. I'm seeing this email. Oh boy, this is one of those ones that has no periods in it. But I'm gonna finish this. I'm seeing this email because I want to see what I think about you. The situation is more or less going to take care of yourself. I'm sure whether the day where they all have done this before, the lady where they have done this before for entertainment purposes, and I'm sure they're going to come wipe us out here pretty soon. Again, no period yet, by the way. I don't understand your role, but I feel like you're just an narrator and the psychological soothsayer for the government. Maybe I wonder, still no periods. I wonder if I can make a request being as, I'm not screwing this up. He's saying these things twice. As I was on the whole ruse for many years, that being the only thing I could use for my request, whatever anyway, not screw. You got a really cool voice, but I'm sure that's why you got the job. Wow. He didn't even sign it, but it's from Mike. And I don't even know. I can't even respond to that. There was literally not a single piece of punctuation in that entire paragraph. But I read it anyway. It seemed like more of a challenge than anything else. Okay, this one's called, Is There Anything About Flat Earth You're Stumped On? Hi, Mark. I emailed you before, and thank you for your other responses. After this long journey for coming to the conclusion to the truth of Flat Earth, is there anything about the flat model that you can't prove or has stumped you, and you wish you had more information about this? Yeah, it would be the Antarctic sun. I wish I knew what the heck was pulling that thing off there, because I think there could be some sort of 24-hour thing happening, but I'm not convinced of that because there's too much footage that they edit out. So the Antarctic sun is probably the only thing that nags at me. I'd also like to ask you, if the powers that should not be admit to the flat earth one day, how will they use it to their advantage so they don't lose power? I just don't see them ever admitting to, hey, we lied for 50 years after NASA was formed. Sorry about that. I just don't see how they could make that move without major outcry. Thoughts? P.S. Don't listen to the cynics. People with brains and souls know you're exactly the person you say you are. God bless. John from Ohio. And as far as the powers that be, they're going to have to let NASA off the hook. They're going to have to admit to a higher power, another civilization, that gets involved and says that the governments and the powers that be had to lie for our benefit. That's the only way they can get off. That's the only way they can do it. Well, I mean, there's another way to do it, but that's the dark side. I don't want to necessarily go there, and that is create a major event in the world that's so destructive that that's all anyone ever talks about is the like a nuclear exchange or something like that. Anyway, moving on. We got a few left that we can do. This one's called Flat Earth. Hi, Mark. I'm Kirsty. I'm just wondering if this dome thing is just for the USA. I don't mean to come across as a bit dim. I've only just opened up to the idea of a flat Earth and have a lot of questions. No, the dome isn't just for the United States. No, Lord, no. It covers everything. I think she's saying that, though, because one of the slides I used, remember when I was making the clues, I did not have a lot of slides to work off of. I think one of the slides was just really covering the United States, and she took that as literal. So, no, it's not just the United States. This one's called God and the Flat Earth. Greetings, Mark. I just got through watching your video. They are hiding God with the greatest lie ever. I am extremely interested in learning much more, especially where the Flat Earth teaching provides the Bible is true. Would you send me only those links addressing my interest? Thank you, Richard. And yeah, in fact, let me put the microphone down for 1 second. And I will say, I'll reply. And I'll say, check out testingtheglobe.com. That is from my friend Rob Skiba. Should get you started. Mark. All right. So I just sent him a thing saying check out testingtheglobe.com from Rob Skiba. And let's move on. That's a great one. If you're a Christian and you're looking for Christian-based text in regard anything really regarding the flat Earth, but it goes over a lot of chapter and verse, go to testingtheglobe.com. It's great stuff. That's the first place I'd send you. Okay, this one's called Hey Man, thanks for your research. Excuse me. Hey Mark, I've seen your videos, want to give you a good thanks for solidifying evidence and taking the time to make those videos. My question for you is, have you ever read the Quran? No, I have not. It literally goes hand in hand with this belief and also has many proofs that have been proven already. And I honestly think Allah wants us to know these proofs. And that's why he made it in the way of his glory. But the power goes to the wrong hands. And what do you know? Farid. And yeah, there's no, anybody will tell you this, any theologian, that Islam and Christianity and Judaism share quite a few of the same stories. So the fact that the Quran goes into the flat earth thing does not shock me at all. Not even in the slightest. So this one's called How About My Experiments? Hi, Mark. Great presentation on the Flat Earth International Conference. You have a huge platform. I sent you 2 descriptions of experiments to do on YouTube. Would you do them? You probably do not remember, but I can resend. Would you prefer me taping it and sending to you so that you could replicate? Thank you, Yelena Serkan. And yeah, sorry, I've been so busy. So yeah, send me whatever experiments. I will. If I can't do them myself, I will forward them to people that have a good chance of making them. Right, let's see if we can end on a fun one. I know there's tons and tons more emails, but I'm just trying. At least I'm in November. That's something. Anyway, let's see here. This one's called YouTube video entitled "They Are Hiding God." I get so much traction on that. On "They Are Hiding God" with the Grace Library. I got what 3.5 million hits. Dear Mark, I watched your video on YouTube and I believe there is a dome and that the earth is flat. I believe the moon landings were faked. I believe 9/11 was a false flag incident as well as all mass shootings, and there will be other incidents created and lies told about by the government. So they don't want us to know that there is God, and many people in the world already know there is a creator. We have known this all our lives. My question to you, Eric Dubay, allegedly Dave, ODD, and all the other people making videos on the flat earth is, so what? So what if they are hiding gods? So what if the earth is flat? So what if they are stealing billions on the pretext of space exploration? What can we do about it? That is what is missing in all the videos on this subject. I appreciate the need to make people aware of the truth, but I personally feel the greater lie is that we are free. The truth is that we are all slaves of the elite. I mean the people who really control governments. The elite have been masterminding things in the background for hundreds of years, and we all work for them. We even die for them in wars they plan and orchestrate. This tragedy is made worse by the fact that few people are even aware of it. They planned 3 world wars to bring about their new world order. World War III is around the corner, and there isn't a damn thing we can do about it because we're too busy debating the shape of the earth, or even worse, watching the football. The fact that you called it the football kind of worries me. Anyway, that is my comment about your video. Peace and love, Bodacious. But his real name is actually Nigh, N-I-G-H. Just want to put that out there. Let's see if I can end on a happy one. Do we have any more? Let's end on one more here. Okay, let's end on this one. It'll be quick. This one's called Flat Earth YouTube Statistic Results. Hello, Mark. I've been doing quite a bit of independent researching into both the foundations and beliefs on heliocentric versus geocentric the past few weeks. What I'm finding is telling that we have been deceived. I'm watching a video of yours currently that claims the YouTube search results listing numbers of flat Earth decreased by about 3 or 4 million in one night. Do you have screenshots or a link to back that claim up? Yeah, I do, and it absolutely did happen. I watched it happen overnight. Why would I make up something like that? If anything, I'm not going to diminish the numbers of flat Earth because that is pretty damning in some light. That is for sure. I just did not see a direct source for that claim in the description and would love to get it for myself. Thanks for the time, LPC. Not that it really matters, LPC, because now we've gained all those numbers back. Even after the adpocalypse, we gained all the numbers back. Flat Earth is stronger than ever. If you have any doubt on that, just type in Flat Earth into YouTube. Sort by upload date. I think we're up at like 18.5, 18.6. I don't know, maybe even 18.7. And that number, they try to stat squish us every once in a while. But what's more interesting is when you type in Flat Earth and you look at the videos, almost all of the top 20 videos are by completely confirmed channels now. They're big channels that are covering this topic, and that's not going away anytime soon. Anyway, thanks guys for all the emails. I will try to make these. I'm trying to clear out my email box as best as I can during the holidays, and you can just email me at msargent23@comcast.net. That's msargent23@comcast.net. And until next time, stay flat.